Hi, welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today we're going to be working on our page 72 of our junk journal, and this is the 100-day challenge. I'm going to start out with adding something on this half page. I didn't number it, but I happen to have something that's going to really go well with what we have here. This is a postcard that my daughter brought back from Florida, and I thought it was very pretty, so I kind of want to put it here where it looks nice with the colors. And let's see what's going to be behind it. Oh yes, look at that. That's going to be some nice layering. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Yeah, I'm going to glue this down. I didn't put my glue where it normally is, so I'm sitting here searching my desk because I put it on top of my desk and not on the tray that I like to keep it on. Alright, so I want to go to about just going to put a little mark on that to help me stay in those lines for the glue. Alright. If I put this out just a little bit, we'll have these nice lines that are still going to be present. I'm going to rub it on the back so we make sure we get that down really nice without any bubbles. Now, I think that I'm going to use this quote right here. It says, "Never ever underestimate the importance of having fun." So that is going to fit nicely there. Now we need to decide how we're going to address the rest of the page. So we're going to, since we got Florida, we got oranges and citrus. Let me get some of my stencils out that are in strips, and we're going to add some stuff to the page to give it some texture and to kind of break it up a little bit since it's solid orange. Alright, I have gone through and gotten out the stencils that I would like to use. This is one of PM Artist Studios strip sets, and this is like oranges, and I think that's going to be perfect for this particular project. I'm going to use, I think, parchment. I should be able to pick that up pretty quick out of my colors here. I think. Whoops. Okay, I don't. Not parchment right away. That's unusual. Usually it's right on the top. There we go. I pulled out other colors, so antique parchment. Yes, here we go. I'm going to use my little miniature palette here. Even though it's dirty, it'll be okay. It'll work for what we need it for today. And I'm getting my little scruffy, roughy brush out. And we're going to come over to the side here, and we're going to add some white. And I'm just pouncing this. If you have a sponge, you can do it with a sponge, like a makeup sponge. But that's not what I have out right at the moment, so we're just going to roll with my grungy brush. And the reason I say use a grungy brush, you want something that you can kind of swirl around, and if you do that to a brush often, this is what happens. It gets like a flared hairs. Don't know if that's a real term, but that kind of describes what happens. If you swirl around like this, you end up with a mess. And it's not a brush that you're going to want to use for just anything. So it's nice to have one dedicated for, these small tasks that, have a big impact, but they don't, you don't want to keep a bunch of brushes around for that. Alright, so we have orange sections here. And that kind of goes with the orange that's over on this side. Now, I also want to try to do something right here. And I'm thinking that I might like to bring in, got this pinkish, it's bright magenta. And I'm kind of wanting to get something here that will maybe kind of draw attention away from that midline. So basically, I'm trying to incorporate the two sides of the page. And to do that, I'm going to use, if I use this right here, I think it's going to pick up on the lines there. And it's not that I'm not trying to overthink this. I'm just trying to look for opportunities. And since this is my inspiration, it kind of makes sense to me to kind of work that into it. Alright, we're going to lift that up. And that did work pretty well. So let's continue down. If you don't like holding a stencil like I'm doing, you can also use washi tape to secure it if you feel like you're going to need that. It doesn't hurt a thing. Alright. Now, do we want to bring in, we could bring in some of this some of a tealish color. I also have like a peachy color that I think might not be bad. So let's do, since I've got this one out already, let's go ahead and put a little dabble of this peach. Oh, maybe this dabble of peach don't want to come out and play. Nope. Okay, that means it's stopped up. So we will go with the This is a Caribbean blue, and that's apple barrel. It's a matte paint. And I'm mixing a little white with it so I can get kind of a variation. Just painting my arm with what was on the stencil. It's always good. Or not. That was probably a little bit too heavy. I was a little too heavy-handed. This time I'm doing more like dry brushing it so that I don't run into that same thing. And it's probably because I may not be holding it down tight enough, but I like the texture. It's becoming we're getting some interesting patterns here. Oops. Try not to slip. Now I'm happy with that. And this dries very quickly, so I can get my quote glued down. And you can see the back where I used an envelope. I think it's interesting to see what different patterns you get on envelopes, and like the security envelopes. Some of them have squares, some of them have, like this one has, the diagonal and the line, so it kind of makes an interesting pattern. And luckily, this is going to cover up that blob part. Now, do I want to go around that with something? No, I think I like it. I think it's good like it is. Alright, so there we have it, our page spread for page 72. We used a postcard my daughter brought back from Florida, which was my inspiration for this page. And then my quote is, never ever underestimate the importance of having fun. And that's something that we were able to do. We were able to take different elements and put them together in a fun way, and there we have it. So until next time, be well, my friends. Bye-bye.